Call me in order. Stand for pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Make a motion to approve today's agenda.
Second. First and second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Make the motion to approve the minutes of February 3rd.
I'll second that.
Motion and second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Meetings attended.
We were all at the pie award. We had some pie.
We got
It was very good. And yesterday we had a conservation meeting. I see Jacob's here, so I'll let him report on the meeting. Other than that, that's all I had.
I didn't have any last week. I was on vacation.
I had pie award, and then I did go to the town hall that Mr. Collins and Mr. Lofton had on Saturday. Had a pretty good crowd there. Pretty interesting conversations. Other than that, that reminded me to it's time for the public input for items to be put on next week's agenda. Nothing? Okay. Payroll changes, I don't think we had any, didn't
I didn't see anything.
we? Okay. Discussion and possible action or approve resolution 202614 of the River Bottom subdivision. That's one I got.
Yes. Very good. Gotta go through it. Put them just subdivision, this is the line.
Oh.
I need that like down. It's gonna be. Right enough. This is your west substation. So try to go from. They're gonna put a new substation in.
It's just the.
And that is in, we built this one, they keep this one going, why they told this one was my understanding. And then, yes, they took 3 acres this time, so.
That's
We
good.
only had about 100-foot square last time and it just wasn't big enough to expand, so they had to buy some more land for this project.
Kids would like to go to the.
Is there something there too, or is it something over here that?
You can tell how that's Dave. Yeah. This parcel's been split, this is the line,
It's not.
it's been split so many times, that's the reason it creates just a division on. So, I see you guys still have any other questions, everything gets nice and.
You wanna make that motion, Scott?
Yeah, I'll make the motion. To approve resolution 202614, Oakville River Bottom subdivision.
I'll second that.
First and second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Got it stamped and installed on.
I'm here. Good job.
Sign down below there.
Yeah, anywhere there.
Not on any numbers,
Yeah, right on there.
and then the resolution you need to sign.
Just, me almost not. I mean, mission. No, being interested.
I'm gonna call him every over from the office.
You in this area?
Yes.
Think of stuff you're not.
No, I got it. The other here, I don't need it. I don't have it. Sure you know what it is. Okay. Learn from about all this numbers they get.
Yeah. Mr. Scott, looks like you're up.
All right. Oh, weather's good. Been able to do a lot more work outside here lately. Been doing some brushing and mowing and things like that. We're also taking a look at some pipe projects here this spring throughout the summer, working on getting some quotes on things on that. Went down to Oakville yesterday, met with the city guy there. You know, head down today to talk to try out their GBS about the upcoming project, which is upcoming next year, but we have to get things done now. So working on that. Other than that, working on plans. Do have a job posting out there now for engineering and a technician. You know, suspect that to be kind of difficult to fill, but we're gonna keep our eyes open. We have a pretty big range as to what we're looking for, you know, on the bottom end, it'd be a person with some construction experience, you know, and has a CDL, and they would kind of, you know, be at the bottom of the scale. And then we've also, you know, got, if we get a person interested that has some experience, you know, the pay would be a little bit better there, but so just open it up. Haven't had much interest yet, but we're hoping for something. So anyway, other than that, Farm Bureau was Thursday night, not the first, like I told, or not the second. I was wrong on that. So I'm going there Thursday night. So and a safety meeting on Thursday, I guess. So any questions for me or anything going on out there?
You need one of us at the Farm Bureau.
Might be helpful to have somebody with a little ability to speak upon the overall budget if there's ever budget questions and things like that. You know, I know there's mention of maybe property tax type things, and somebody with a little better knowledge of that would help, but.
If more than one of you wanna go, I can put an agenda out where multiple can go if you like.
Don't know, I think you guys are invited at a different time though, right?
Yeah, last year they had us,
Okay.
I was the only one that showed up.
So I was the only one invited, but I'm saying if you guys wanted to come along too, you could, so. But
If anybody would go, I would think the chair would be the one that would represent the board, but if you can't go, then somebody else can.
yeah.
Yeah.
So other than that,
This Thursday,
yeah, it's at 7, so
about here, well.
yeah. Other than that, working on getting some equipment ordered and things like that. So the bridge project up there on X Avenue west of Columbus is done. Probably work on the other one sometime next week. So anyway, getting some things done here. So
Sounds good.
all right. Any questions from the crowd for me today? All right. I'm gonna get out of here then.
Okay.
After you're done. Of course, guys. So.
Cindy, I guess you're up.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
So for our office, the phone foot traffic was jam.
Well, all the crowd's leaving.
Like, wait, keep going, I need to leave.
There's no reflection on that.
That's all right.
You'll put that on paper.
All right, phone and foot traffic for January, 81 phone and 8 foot. And then we have the normal boot camp retreat took place on January 28th, it takes place again February. Okay, February 25th. And, the Southeast Louisa Food Pantry in January had 27 households, that was 62 individuals. Couple things that I've been working on, I sit on the Early Childhood of Iowa Board, for Des Moines, Henry Lee, Louisa, Washington, not Lee, Louisa, Washington, and Muscatine. And they are currently a board, one of 34, and, the state's pushing to move, there was a House bill to where they would eliminate those 34 boards. And so, move into the districts, the 7 districts mapping that follows the, behavioral health map. And, so we were kind of setting things up for that change. And then there was a bill that came out that was wanting to eliminate all the 34 boards right away. And so, that was tabled. So working on legislature with that. And there was supposed to be a Senate bill coming out. There is one on the books, Senate Bill, 3111. And so we're kind of watching that to see what happens, and just trying to advocate for local, like advocacy so that we can keep our local voice heard for all kinds of things, but especially for the early childhood, kiddos, the 0 to 5 group that I sit on that board with. And then,
So if they eliminate that board immediately, would it then go to that
I
7?
think it would probably fall under their fiscal year more so than immediately, like it would end June 30th is probably what I think would happen, but they haven't put dates out. They just put it out there as a bill, and then when it was tabled, everything kind of stopped, so.
Well,
But I think they're still going to keep pushing, according to our director, they're going to keep pushing, to either move to districts or elimination, we don't really know, but even in the districts, there's still some concern, just like with the behavioral health. We lost a lot in regards to local, like advocacy for the people and.
hard to eliminate it without something to replace it with.
Right, yeah, and it would be, they're moving the HHS system, everything is kind of trickling under that, and so that's probably where it'll end up.
For what it's worth, Taylor Collins told me that
Yeah.
they weren't going to move on that.
Okay,
So
even through the Senate, like bill
I
and.
don't know, that's just a comment he made it Saturday morning when I asked him about it, so.
Yeah,
Uh,
I sent emails out and I totally forgot about that. I would have done that for that to talk to them first, but, and then it went to, when it was from the House, then it went to the Senate, and so I sent out more emails, and, I know our director's been to the Capitol and trying to, there's a whole group of them, so. We did meet, if we go to districts, I would be District 7 instead of District 6. And so we did meet on Friday for District 7 in person, the people that would be a part of it if it did go that route, so, yeah. And then I sit on the Iowa Community Services Association Board and, working on legislative, stuff with that also. Nothing major to report, but we just make sure we stay involved with anything that has to do with community services. And then, we have an in-person retreat for the ICSA board, February 24th, so I'll be going to that. And then, cremation assistance through my office, Adam Parsons contacted me. We do have an abandoned, Louisa County resident that had passed away that we're working on that one. There's some assets involved, and so we're gonna keep on going through that and try to get everything cleaned up with that. It'll probably take several months for that to happen, but, and then yesterday, the funeral home called me about another abandoned, Louisa County resident, so, everything's just beginning with that one, so.
It's sad,
Yeah,
sad there's no one there to
no.
take
So,
care of them.
well, and even if there is, then people are like they're estranged
Yeah.
children and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah. Yeah. That's all. Lots of things happening right now.
Thank you, Cindy.
Heard you.
I just seen him walk in.
Morning.
All right.
Morning. Bright and shiny and beautiful day outside.
Don't jinx us.
I just stand over here.
Okay, currently, 20 claims are in VBMS, working on those. Went up a little bit at 354. Next month, that's gonna go up, even more. Had a couple of big claims come through for veterans. 52% remaining on the budget. That's gonna go down, pretty quick with, training coming up and travel for that. No changes with the care center with 11 in Columbus Junction and 8 here in town. The soldiers relief, I've got another family I'm working with that's in need following a veterans medical situation. This Saturday, I'm heading up to Des Moines to attend some training with the American Legion. And then I won't be attending, I don't plan to attend the IDVA spring school. I'm undecided about IACVS spring school, but I am already signed up for the NACVSO conference. Right now, as far as the DAV van, we have no drivers that are available with one snowbirding in Arizona and one with a knee surgery. We could use some volunteers. There's a process they have to go through with the DAV and investigation background and whatnot, but no big deal. As far as outreach goes, I attended last week, the American Legion meeting went well. The coffee with the veterans last week was well received. We had 21 folks there, both veterans and spouses. Last night I attended the VFW meeting, and then next week I've got a couple more meetings. The Oakville meeting will likely not go. They're fair weathered, so it's cold outside. They push it off, and so and that's all I have. Unless any questions.
Question.
Absolutely.
So clearly we haven't been in, thank goodness, many wars lately.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when this by attrition goes down to 0?
What, the number of veterans, or
Yeah.
I don't think it will ever go down to 0, because veteran doesn't mean a combat veteran. Veteran means someone that served.
Oh, I get you. Right.
So they'll never go down to 0. We are, I think it's not just Louisa County. I read a post from CJ Oliver. She's from Wright County. She's been doing the job since 2002. And she talks about, her post was about the bill, but she gives some facts that when she started, there were about 12 or 1,400 maybe veterans in the county. And then she gives an update based on this other year and whatnot. And eventually they're down now, I think, under 1,000. So in 20 years, they've seen 300 to 500. I'd have to go back and look at it again, but a significant decrease, 25% of their veteran population. Veterans were drafted and during Vietnam and whatnot,
Yeah.
so forced versus now.
It's
There was a hard time,
voluntary.
and there was quite a bit of a time where the branches were having a hard time recruiting. Recruit numbers are up now, so but they're always trying to draw down the force, make it smarter, fewer people in the Navy and Air Force, whatnot. So, but it'll never get to 0, I don't believe. But it.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
We are cooking along.
Spring is sprung, early spring has sprung, false spring, if you will.
The ball spring.
Yeah, it's coming, don't worry, winter will still be here. A note, I just thought of this on the salt and stuff for the courthouse and the complex. We still have 20 bags left. That'll get us at least two more rounds of it. I don't think that we're gonna need to order more. We have a couple reserve spots at the sheriff's office and then at the complex. So we'll be able to shuffle in the event we have to. But yeah, let's cross our fingers that we don't have a ton more events, but if we do, I think we're covered. Anyway, in the conservation world, we are getting our seasonals hired. We just had somebody that was gonna work for us the whole summer say that they're gonna work half the summer, so we're gonna have to start opening up a couple more seasonal positions, but they're already budgeted for. It's just a different person, not a different position. I was working on some board documents that I think we got through, so that clears everything up. I started in on staff reviews, the annual performance vows. And I'm working on burn plans, so we're gonna hopefully get that rounded up. We're not quite there yet. Today was looking like it could be a good day, but it's a little windy, so don't necessarily start your stuff on fire today. Maybe, but not necessarily. The EE staff is planning field trips. I have a couple event announcements. Hunter education, so anyone can take it, but you have to be 11 in order for it to be certified. On March 12th and 14th, out at the office complex, that's put on through the DNR. We are just instructors. If you want to sign up for that, you can go to the Iowa Outdoors page and then sign up online. And then we have a Big Sand Mound field trip coming up. For anyone that doesn't know, Big Sand Mound is a location shared between Bayer and Mid-America, and it's a preserve. It's sand prairie with like dunes and stuff. It's a super neat property. But those two manage it along with a management team. The conservation assists with the management. We do field trips out there for the students, but then every 3 years they open it up to the public to go visit. So it's a super unique event. And if you want to go this year, you gotta get in. It'll be hundreds of people that come. That's June 13th. I don't know about sign up if it's out yet, but just keep an eye for it. We'll be posting more. The maintenance guys are getting the burn breaks ready for our upcoming burn season. Putting the finishing touches on equipment. Most of the oil changes and maintenance stuff is done. But so they started working on the Snively bathrooms. We've done a ton of work down there, getting those looking better, more functional. It's gonna get a new paint job, new roof. Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming with that one. And then we're gonna forego a porta potty down there this year. As a money saving tactic, instead of putting money in rentals, then we can make our own stuff nicer. So we got the lumber purchase for that and Virginia Grove, which is also gonna get a couple touch-ups. And we're also splitting some firewood on our own. So it just so happened we were cutting down trees at a campground. So instead of buying firewood, we're just gonna split that up. So we did that too. No.
Any questions for Jacob? Oh, no. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Kathy.
A lectern. This is so exciting. I love lecterns. Did you send them my report?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's good because I didn't bring them copies since I sent you. So.
Okay, because I did print a copy. Well, they don't have a copy with them. You've seen it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. As the chair of the Historic Preservation Commission, I'm here to present you with our annual report. You don't actually approve. What Kevin needs to sign is that a representative of the Historic Preservation Commission attended a public meeting and presented the details of the report. So here I am to present the details of the report. It's really, I hope you've seen it. I know that I've been here a lot of times through the year to report on what we're doing. And of course, Sean reports when he goes to the public meeting. But for the most part, this talks about the projects we've been working on, including the inventory of the buildings in down. And we don't really work on this. We write a grant and we hire someone and they work on these projects. So remember the projects that you've approved that have been worked on this year, primarily the grant to do an inventory of the downtown buildings in Wapello and the downtown buildings in Columbus Junction to see if there might be enough excellent buildings to do a submission later for a historic district in those communities. And that's going along. The site inventory has been finished. It's currently at the state and they have to approve or disapprove. And we haven't paid a dime for it. They've done the work. They were here quite a lot this spring working on that. The other thing is we had a celebration this year for the getting Mellinger Memorial Library on the historic register, and Sean was our speaker over in Morning Sun. We did the morning after the 4th of July. So Saturday morning of the 4th of July weekend, we had a ribbon cutting for the plaque that went up on that building. Fairview Church, we've been helping them write grants to finish up that project as well. And wrote a grant for Mellinger Memorial Library in order to, and this one you didn't have to approve because it wasn't a state grant, it was a private family fund. We wrote a grant to do a structural engineering report so they could try and figure out what it is they might need to do with that building. I mean, the building's not falling down, but Mellinger Memorial Library was built in 1935, 36. So they're trying to figure out what are there structural issues. They want to keep the building in the city for another 100 years, what might happen. So that has been finished. We've gotten that report. I'm hoping to apply for some money through the state to do. There are some beams that probably need to be replaced, and lath and plaster back in the day didn't have any there was nothing to keep the water from coming through the brick to the lath and plaster. You know, now they have that drip stop. That's what it's called. You guys probably know better than I do what I'm talking about, but there's a barrier, right? A moisture barrier between the brick and now mostly sheetrock, not lath and plaster. Well, that doesn't exist. So they're talking about ways that you could improve that kind of thing. So we'll be writing a grant for that. It's not counting money, but that's the process. We did try very hard to do a wood refinishing class, but we didn't have a lot of interest. So this year, what we've talked about at our meetings, we don't have to have very many meetings. That's in this report too. We have to have 3. We had 4 this year. To partner with the Historical Society and maybe do it during their fall festival, do an event along with their event. And we have a mass of people already try and do some woodworking, and wood refinishing is actually not woodworking. And still, of course, looking at opportunities to put information about the historic places online.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
The downtown building survey stuff, is that completed? Is it done? Good?
The survey is done.
They were doing something else though, weren't they?
Okay, so downtown, are we talking about downtown Wapello?
Yeah, because
Okay, so there's CDGB grant, and that's separate. Is this what you're talking about? The
Yeah.
combination of the
didn't
two?
the city need some of that information
Yeah.
for something else?
Well, the city, yes, the city needed information on about 13 buildings, 12 maybe, for the facade grant. They were doing a community development block grant. Well, their consultants should have provided that information, but relied on the site survey. Well, if you're having another grant done, why don't we just use that information? Well, that information wasn't done in time. I mean, it's completely separate pots of money, and CDBG grant should have probably done it. Here's what happened in the end. With the help of Raymond Fisher, I got the history on all 12 of those buildings, wrote it up in a spreadsheet, you know, from the building of it through present day, the owners, the uses, and fires and whatever, all those kinds of things. Every piece of information we could find, and I gave it to regional planning that's doing the community development block grant. Yeah, that's a Yeah, that's the end of that story. I mean, and I think they got the block grant for the facade project.
Yeah, they did. I just got little bits and pieces. I never was able to put it all together.
Yeah. That's kind of different from what we were doing, which was trying to identify buildings that might add to a historic district application. They were looking for histories on specific buildings that wanted to be part of the facade project, which not necessarily the same buildings. Could be, but not necessarily. So there was,
I would think there would be several downtown that would qualify. There's several that are well over 100 years old. They're
yeah.
still there.
So the difficulty with the district, there would be some that would qualify for National
Right.
Historic Register,
Right.
but a district has to have a certain percentage of all of the buildings. Yeah, and
The town has burnt so many times that it's hard to do that.
it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
And buildings have changed,
Yeah.
not just burning, but other changes too. Yeah, actually, that hasn't been decided yet because that report's being finished, being approved by the state, and we'll pay for that. Then we can put that in the hands of another consultant who can say, yeah, you don't have enough buildings, or you do.
Yeah.
Columbus the same.
Yeah.
Remember what I've talked to you guys so many times about this, and the Historic Preservation Commission knows this, but this National Register stuff in particular is a long game, just like all the other grants you do, especially when you're talking about the federal government, which the National Register is federal. It takes 3 years is a good timeline. 6 years is probably really better. Do you have questions about the report I'm presenting? Oh, no, I already told you. So next year, what we're hoping to, we'll be finishing off the downtown surveys. We'll get that finished report and get it in the hands of a consultant to talk about whether or not we can make an application for a district, and hoping to do a project with the Historical Society to get people interested in historic preservation and what the benefits are. And, there's arguments on both sides of that, and we talk about that at our meeting. So do you tear down an old building and put up something new that's, better higher taxes on a newer building than and looks cool and people like it and, has that new, the reason that you want to do new awnings and facades downtown is because you want something new, right? And historic preservation is sometimes about keeping what is old. Where's the balance there?
Well, some of this facade grant is bringing back the
Older facades.
taking the slip covers off and bringing
Yes.
it back. So
Yeah.
there is some new construction part of it, but it's trying to
Make it
keep
look,
it.
yeah, keep it historical.
This is off topic.
Yeah, sure.
How's the barn?
Is it about the barn?
Yeah, how's the barn?
Okay, wait, you know what? I am the chair of no, I'm not a chair. Let's see, what am I? I'm the go-between, there's probably a word for that, between the contractor and our committee, and I get a report from him every week. And I had talked to him about what I could say to the supervisors when they asked me this question before the end of February. So this month, the exterior steel will be installed, the garage doors as well, and the electrical will be in process. If you went down there today and you actually walked in, if you went and you drove by, you'd see the framing is finished and completely paid for. We pay in installments, right? So the framing is all done, even for the outside lean-tos and the office and bathrooms. The roof on the main building, the steel has been installed. So they'll be doing the steel on the sides of the building. The electrical is being run on the inside. So the light fixtures have been put up and the breaker boxes are up, but then you do all that other wiring. That's not completely finished. And
Yeah,
the garage doors are ordered and in, but they'll be
completion date.
April 15th. And we will be having the Alex Edwards Memorial Cattle Show, which is an FFA project in Columbus Junction. That's the final weekend of April, so come down. It won't, I'm not sure that it won't look like it does at fair time. By then, because at a cattle show like that, sometimes they they don't necessarily pen inside the building. They show off their trailers, they bring the animals in, they show, so we'll have a show arena, we'll have a sound system, may not be the final sound system, but you should come.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There will be mud, I'm
Okay.
gonna say, maybe a lot of mud,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's exciting.
That is exciting.
Right.
I don't know if there were questions about the funding, what we did with the CAT grant and a donation from Tyson at the end. So you guys already know about this and it's been in the paper, but the Community Attraction and Tourism Grant that we received for $364,000 finished off the building. And the CAT grant is for the building. We still do have expenses, pens, bleachers, things like that, and trying to decide what to do. People like to sit in their own chairs. They don't want to sit on bleachers. How many bleachers do we buy? I mean, you have to have some bleachers, I think, because I don't want to carry around a chair, but lots of people like to carry their chair, sit around the fence, that kind of thing. And the pens, or the gates for the pens, we haven't made a final purchase on those, so. We're still raising money if you feel like donating. Did that answer all your
Yep.
questions and way more about the barn?
Yeah.
Okay, but I still need an approval not an approval of our report. Technically, in the minutes, what I need is acknowledgement that I made the presentation of the final report to the Board of Supervisors. I don't even,
I need approval for them to sign the report.
oh, yes, okay, that you'll sign, it. Yeah, okay.
We'll make a motion to sign the report.
Okay, thank
For
you.
the historic preservation.
I'll second. Motion second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Do you have the original or?
Well, yes. It has a.
Okay, I did, well, then I printed that.
Well, that's fine, and then. Can I scan it and send it back to you, or do you want to scan it to me? I need a copy. Or you can make a copy,
How about I make that?
and we don't have to discuss that at the public meeting, right? Sorry. I love the lectern. It's nice.
Well, we had a problem with people getting picked up on the mic.
Yeah,
Kelly doesn't have a problem with the mic, but some other
sure.
people, we couldn't get them, so.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
You guys have a chance to review the wage report?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any action we need on that? or
Just review.
Just review.
But they don't get published in the minutes then. Take care.
You too.
All right. Okay. No further action, I move, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
No second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Okay.
Do something good today. Oh, well. Everybody have a good day.
You too. Susan, you have an update on our budget stuff?
I can email it to you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I'd like to see where we're at.
Okay,
What's the review wage report?
that they did,
This lists out everybody's wage for the whole county and. Oh.
We kind of announced it last week. You weren't here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
the wage report,
Yeah.
yeah,
And then the.
They was at mine.
yeah,
Good, huh?
yeah, that's it. Not much to
Oh,
it.
no, that's the wage,
Yeah,
what I meant the, I wanted to,
oh,
like the, HPC. For preservation.
oh, yes, I can email it, I probably emailed it, so, I'll email it. Okay.
No, plenty out there to do.
Well.
Have a dry
Yeah.
I will send you that.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And did that picture help?
I don't care.
I
take care of it. I get home.
I couldn't. Next day, go. I better wait.